The fisherman opened the coffin, shocked to find the child alive and old enough for kindergarten. Such is the fortune of a demigod. And so, Zeus' son was adopted by a fisherman family. Once he learned his background, Perseus realized he had to clean up the mess or everyone would have a good cry. With this realization, he sprang up, escorted by soldiers to the desert. The mission: find the buried and the queen animalitia experts. This was critical for defeating the giant beast. Hades was watching Perseus. His plan needed the villain to survive. He found the hooded figure in the cave to discuss collaboration, who turned out to be the abandoned King Oryx. Upon hearing about taking down Zeus, looked like he was ready for a party. He accepted enthusiastically, while Hades unleashed a wave of dark power from his mouth. What a spectacular fireworks show. Zeus, seeing his son's powers awaken, secretly tossed a magical artifact into the grass, hoping Perseus would stumble upon this hidden treasure. When Perseus picked up the artifact, it emitted a bright light, transforming into a shiny sword, and he was as excited as a kid with a new toy. This was a gift from the gods, but Perseus was puzzled. Why was this weapon given to him? He didn't want to rely on it. So, he gave the sword to Uncle Bon and entered the forest, discovering a mind-blowing secret after just a few steps. In the forest, there were flying horses. As Perseus was stunned, it flew away scared, wanting to switch gears to pilot. As the noble representative of flying horses, the black horse willingly became Perseus' mount, while upon his return, the soldiers were all worried about him. So, 2 soldiers decided to find him, but on entering the forest, one sensed something was off and quickly called his buddy. The next moment, upon hearing the noise, Perseus quickly hid himself, fearing that he might be discovered. Instead, he found the soldiers torn apart by a monster, and it turned out to be raw Acris. Talk about a tense atmosphere. He kicked Perseus down the slope, but thankfully the soldiers quickly retaliated. But once Acris showed up with his superpowers, the soldiers could hardly fight back, falling down like pins. Such a sad script broke everyone's heart. He aimed for a fatal blow on Perseus, but at a crucial time, Perseus drew his blade and cut off his hand. Seeing the enemy was overwhelming, he had to flee, but Perseus wasn't planning to let him go. So, he quickly led the soldiers to pursue him, flanking him left and right along the blood trail. No time to shout hurry, everyone was in a mad dash. Just then, a drop of blood from Acris hit the ground, causing it to tremble, sending everyone into a panic. He thought these monsters would hinder the pursuers to buy time for his escape, but Perseus wasn't going to let him have it. So everyone fought back fiercely, launching a fierce battle against the scorpion monster, but standard weapons didn't seem effective against it. The scorpion monster suddenly swung its enormous pincers, causing those engaged in fierce battle to be thrown into immediate disarray. It was definitely not the time for leisurely chicken fighting anymore. Just as Perseus was at a loss, he charged forward, stabbing the giant scorpion with both swords. However, that didn't seem to do much damage and only worsened the scorpion's mood. In a crisis, Perseus yanked E up and yelled, "I never thought I'd be at a mini-party today." Seeing the giant scorpion closing in, he pushed E away to face the fierce foe, but the scorpion crashed into a corpse instead. This act didn't hurt it, but only made it angrier, raising its stinger toward Perseus, ready to burst with rage. The enraged scorpion launched a fierce attack on Perseus, pinning him down tightly, and everyone believed he had been eliminated, yet in truth, he was undergoing a rebirth akin to a phoenix renaissance. He suddenly emerged from the giant scorpion's body, and just as everyone sighed in relief, more scorpions came rushing in. Facing the onslaught, everyone felt despair, but then a group of elves appeared atop the mountain, a true magical rescue. The elves waved their hands gently, and the scorpions suddenly halted, as if saying, "It's time we had some good food." With the help of the elves, Perseus and the crew shook off the scorpion monster siege, while Acris had vanished like a magician's trick. At night, Acris sneaked into the tent while Perseus was asleep, plotting his little plan. He pulled out a ghost fire and ominously pressed it against Perseus' wounded arm, causing him to scream. The soldiers rushed into the tent upon hearing the sound, thinking the evil spirit was hurting Perseus, ready to attack. What a big misunderstanding. Strangely, the evil spirit didn't strike back, just as Perseus' arm healed rapidly, quite the ghostly plot twist. The next day, the elves set off with the giant scorpion, while Perseus and the others finally reached the Witch of the Underworld after days of trekking. Surveying the dark surroundings, Perseus lit a torch, turning the deep pit into a bonfire party. "Who are you?" "Perseus, what brings you here?" The witch was surprised to see him. Little did she know the 3 sisters had their eyes on him. What a hot commodity. The soldiers warned them to back off, but were met with an attack by the 3 sisters. Perseus felt like saying, "I'm in a comedy show. Kill him." Perseus grabbed the witch's eyes and shouted, "This is my new toy." He ran to the cliff, threatening the witch to back off, who surrendered immediately. After all, her eyes were more precious than her life. "How do we kill Kraken?" Perseus asked, and the witch helplessly responded, "Well, there's a way, but it sounds like a prank." She told Persis, "Go find Medusa across the river. Her eyes could turn any living being to stone. It's always worth a shot." After learning the solution, the group set off again. Meanwhile, Zeus found Persis trying to convince him to abandon his mission, but he refused to give up. Zeus, having no choice, tossed a gold coin. After all, a ferry ticket to the underworld can't be forgotten. Along the way, some got scared and dropped out, leaving only a small group behind. So, Persis made a bold decision and excitedly tossed the coin into the air, marking a real game of decision-making.